other than buy them locally. You see, locally available bottles all originate from Israel. Their policy is, whenever possible, boycott Israeli sources. They explained that this isn't always possible. For example, the labels on the bottles, whilst printed in Nablus, they cannot guarantee the ink and paper used is always imported. Sometimes it might originate from Israel. This level of commitment to the boycott, where they even consider where the ink on the sticky labels on their products comes from, puts the rest of us, who actually have an easy choice of avoiding Israeli goods, to shame. A quick look at Zaytoon's website, www.zaytoon.org, which includes a list of sellers who stock their products, reveals that their dates are very competitively priced. 250 grams of Palestinian medjool dates costs just £2. Compare this to Israeli medjool dates, which are being sold in Sainsbury's in much smaller packs of 200 grams for the same £2, or in Marks and Spencer's at twice the price. By the way, sometimes Israeli produce is labelled produce of the West Bank. It doesn't mean it's Palestinian produce, but rather confirms that it's produced on the illegal Israeli settlements on stolen Palestinian land. Sainsbury's medjool dates is one such example. It says grown in the West Bank, but a closer look reveals it's grown by Netiv Hakdud. In 1976, an armed settlement was created on 260 acres of stolen Palestinian land in the Jordan Valley. Today, 127 Israeli colonists are posted there. That illegal settlement is Netiv Hakdud. Netiv Hakdud was one of the settlements mentioned in the Haaretz expose on the exploitation of Palestinian date workers. Netiv Hakdud's secretary, Maggie Mayudek, however, denied any responsibility or knowledge of the exploitation of Palestinian workers. She said, "I never saw people hanging from the trees." Those dates that are sold in Sainsbury's, costing more than Zaytoon's, are the product of Palestinian exploitation and theft. Can you think of a better way for us to break our fasts in Ramadan than by a Palestinian date? Imagine the boost it would give the Palestinian economy if every Muslim made it a tradition to always break our fast with Palestinian dates. Another organization that helps the Palestinians and deserves our full support is Interpal. One of the projects they run is to plant new olive trees in Palestine. For as little as £10, you can plant an olive tree in your child's name, for example. It makes a great birthday or Eid present, which gives your child a tangible connection to Palestine. They will treasure their certificate, knowing they have an olive tree named after them in Palestine. Interpal is also a distributor for Zaytoon's products from Palestine, and in future they will be marketing Palestinian handicrafts in the UK. Visit their website www.interpal.org for full details of all their projects in Palestine. Every leading ulema from every school of thought in Islam is united in their support for a boycott of Israel and those that support Israel. Imam Sayyid Ali Khamenei has said, "The purchase of any item which helps strengthen Zionism is not permissible unless it reaches the point of necessity." 15th May 2001. Sheikh Yusuf al-Qaradawi, when asked about the boycott, replied, "We see our brothers and children in Al-Aqsa and the blessed land of Palestine generously sacrificing their blood, giving their souls willingly in the way of Allah. All Muslims must help them with whatever power they have. The vehicle of this support is a complete boycott of the enemy's goods. Each riyal, dirham, etc. used to buy their goods eventually becomes bullets being fired at the hearts of brothers and children in Palestine. For this reason, it is an obligation not to help them, the enemies of Islam, by buying their goods. To buy their goods is to support tyranny, oppression and aggression. Buying goods from them will strengthen them, Our duty is to make them as weak as we can. Our obligation is to strengthen our resisting brothers in the sacred land as much as we can. If we cannot strengthen the brothers, we have a duty to make the enemy weak. If their weakness cannot be achieved except by boycott, we must boycott them. 4th April 2002. Ayatollah al-Sayyid Ali al-Sistani, in his book A Code of Practice for Muslims in the West, includes 2 fatwas on the boycott. He states that it is not permissible for a Muslim to buy products of the countries that are in a state of war with Islam and Muslims, for example Israel. And in reply to the question, is it permissible to buy from shops that dedicate part of their profits to supporting Israel? He answers, we do not allow that. These were just a few examples of the blanket support our ulama have given to the boycott. In fact, we couldn't find one instance of a single ulama being opposed to the boycott. And these fatwas are not new. Imam Khomeini gave a fatwa urging a boycott of Israeli goods over 40 years ago. Isn't it about time that we heed the call of justice, that we stand with Palestine, that we oppose injustice and stand against Israel by boycotting it? Our beloved Prophet, peace be upon him, has said that he who wakes up in the morning and doesn't think about and care for the affairs of his fellow Muslims is not a Muslim. Let us today, just for a moment, think about our sister Zainab Turabi, a 60-year-old woman whose livelihood has been taken away from her, her olive grove stolen, her life threatened, terrorized, too frightened to even approach her land. Think of her just for a moment, and then let our hearts guide us as to what our responsibility is.